Hi guys, so today's video I've got something quite exciting to show you. I've been lucky enough to secure myself an allotment, which is only a 2-minute walk from my house, right around the corner, for £25 for the year. And I'm going to show you what I've got. So here it is, this weedy allotment plot. So it's from about the hedge to this you can kind of just about see a path here. So the allotment plot's not been cultivated for a number of years, and it's full of weeds, sort of branches of what might be shrubs and things, but it looks okay. So I came last week and mowed it all quite low. Might have to do that again, but yeah. So behind me is the rest of the plot. So I've got plot 1, which is right by the gate, which is quite handy because it's also right by the tap for water and things. But it goes on and on, quite far, and there's loads over there. Some of the allotment plots are really sort of overgrown. Some of them are really well kept. Someone's even got chickens, and yeah. So in these sort of allotment series videos, I'm going to sort of hopefully document turning this sort of weedy, unkept allotment into hopefully a really productive growing space. And I'm going to sort of talk about my approach to this, and it's definitely not going to be a guide or anything, more of a blog, really how I'm going to go about it. And one of the first things I'm going to do now is really to sort of assess where the sun is, where things like water is and things like that, and what sort of assets I've got here, if any, that I can use to my advantage. Now, once I sort of looked at sort of the location and what the ground's like and things, you really need to start, in my case at least, looking at what sort of infrastructure items you're going to need. One of the things I knew I was going to need would be somewhere to store compost. I've got a lot of ground to clear, a lot of weeds to pull, a lot of things to cut back. And as a result, I thought I'd better knock up a compost bin quite quick. So again, this whole allotment series videos I'm going to be making, I'm doing everything as cheap as possible. I really don't want to spend any money because I've got a garden that I'm trying to keep on on top of, and I don't know how much time I'm going to get down here in this allotment. It might be that I end up spending loads of time, but I'm not sure, so I don't want to spend anything. So cheap as possible. 3 pallets I got free from work, and I've secured them with the help of Harriet, my daughter, with some sort of galvanized wire. So I've looked at the land, worked out where the sun is, built a compost bay. The next big job I really want to start doing is starting to clear away some of the stuff I can't grow in, basically. So I've got this section reasonably clear, and that was sort of done last weekend. I've now kind of got to start thinking about this section, and really, if I was in anyone else's position and you're facing something similar, it's a bit of patience. Like, you cut it once, everything will grow back. Cut it again, slightly less things grow back, and eventually you get to a point where you've cut, and you've just left with sort of low sort of growing plants, grasses, clovers, creeping buttercup, things like that. And those things are okay. They look from afar quite nice, and it's something that you can then start working with and building your raised beds. So I hope you liked that video. Next time we're here, I'm hoping I will have organised a big delivery of wood chip, and again I'll talk about that in next week's video, and that will be for sort of putting down the paths. And then it's just a case of gathering as much cardboard as I can and compost as I can to start building the raised beds. And yeah, more on that in next week's video. Don't forget to like and subscribe.